See that flicker or that digitally looking image? That's not you. That's your iPhone 17 Pro camera making some fatal mistakes. And unless you fix them, your footage is going to look worse than ever. So many people just put up with flickering lights on their video. They go, I just shot it on the phone, it's fine. It happens on any camera if you're on the wrong settings. What you need to do is figure out what country you're in. For the best part, should be easy enough for most of us. And then you gotta decide whether you're in a PAL region or an NTSC region. The difference with the lights is that there's different frequency electricity or flux capacitor things going into the lights, and that makes them flicker if you're in the wrong mode. If you are in a PAL region, make sure you're on the 25p or 50p. By default, from my experience on any iPhone Pro, you won't see a PAL region. You got to enable it in the settings. And if you're in the US, stick to the 30, 30p or the 60p, and then you're good. No more flickering lights. We all love a good slow motion video, right? But keep in mind your iPhone 17 Pro cannot do the much talked about 4K 240. Make sure you're on 4K 120 because that's all you're ever going to get on the 17 Pro, and the 17 Pro Max is 4K 120. It's a simple setting to miss, and if you're doing a lot of work in post, you're going, why am I in 1080 240? It just can't do it. A big mistake a lot of people make is just sticking with the stock camera app. Hey, if you're taking videos of your cat for TikTok or Instagram, it's fine. But Apple's stock camera app over sharpens everything. It looks really, really digital. It's just a bit too much, especially for video when the goal is to make something a little bit more natural and cinematic as opposed to this thing that's melting your eyes. What you need to do is use a different app. Blackmagic Camera app, which is incredibly powerful, that's great. However, it can be a bit overwhelming for the first time user. What I would suggest, and it's also free, is the Final Cut Camera app. This comes directly from Apple. Stick that into any of the ProRes modes, indeed any mode, and it just gets rid of all this sharpened processed imaging that Apple applies. If you want a really natural looking image, stick with an external app and kiss that stock camera app goodbye. I'll never let this one go, but that's the 4x telephoto lens. You have to be in the right conditions when you're shooting with it. From a focus perspective, you have to be at least 120 centimeters away from your subject. The lighting has to be right. Otherwise, you're going to be going, is my 4x lens broken? Keep that in mind if you're shooting 4x. Keep all of those things in mind, and even then, it still can be a bit of a... You've no doubt heard that shooting with an iPhone 17 Pro can be cinematic. And with the word cinematic, people always throw around log footage. With the iPhone 17 Pro and the iPhone 17 Pro Max, there's something called log 2. If this makes no sense to you, do not turn it on. It will not make your stuff cinematic. In fact, it will do the exact opposite. You'll be scratching your head at your editor going, why is this thing so washed out looking? And why can't I grade it? Because I don't know how to grade it. Bruh. Yeah, leave log 2 alone. It's not instant cinema, it's instant carnage unless you know what you're doing. Let's talk about cinema again, because Apple has a cinematic mode that makes everything look, you got that creamy, smooth bokeh, that blurry background. It's not legit bokeh. It's just not. It's Apple's attempt at doing it digitally, and a lot of the times it works, and when it doesn't work, it looks really, really, really bad. Just keep it in mind that this is not something that's going to make you look like a superstar. It's the ideas in your head that make you look like a superstar, not some bloody blurry background. You spend a lot of money on your iPhone 17 Pro and you expect it to do most things correctly. And it absolutely does do most things correctly. But when it comes to focusing on a subject in a video, you don't want it to change. Maybe sometimes you do depending on the shot, but if you want it to be locked onto your talent, then just keep the screen pressed on where your talent is, and then if something else happens, it's not going to change. It's going to lock focus, it's going to lock exposure, how bright or dark the scene is. It's not going to change wildly at all, and then you're good. because nothing screams amateur and I have no idea what I'm doing with my gear than the focus randomly changing throughout a shot. There are three really powerful cameras on this. There's the ultra wide lens, there's the normal lens, and there is the telephoto lens. All of them have 48 megapixel sensors, so everything should look really good, except if you use the ultra wide lens on your head or on your face or somebody else's face, the closer they get to the actual camera, the worse it's going to look. Do not use the ultra wide lens for portrait style shots or very up close of your talent or yourself, because it's just going to look weird. Yeah, sure, if you've got a big head like me, it'll kind of make your head less big. However, people will be like going, what's going on? What? It's really bad distortion. Don't do it. Just don't. Stabilization on the iPhone 17 Pro and the 17 Pro Max is actually quite good. In fact, Apple have put something in here called action mode, which stabilizes everything. And if you over rely on this thing, it can be a bit jittery and it can be a bit weird when it's not really needed. Best thing is really put this on a gimbal. However, if you absolutely have to use action mode, use it specifically for that one thing and then turn it off. And keep in mind, you're not getting your full whack of resolution in action mode. Chances are by now you've also heard the words ProRes and ProRes RAW and ProRes HQ and ProRes this and ProRes my ass all over the place. This is a really high quality codec that Apple allow you to use. However, depending on the ProRes mode that you're in, you're going to need external storage. And even then, it is going to eat storage. If you're recording ProRes on your phone, yeah, just don't do it, because it is going to look to free up resources. It is going to absolutely melt your phone storage really, really quickly. You're not going to be able to rely on it. Buy something external. And the good thing is, a lot of people have kind of SD cards lying around the place. If you've got a fast SD card, this little yoke, as we'd say over here, from Anker allows you to record directly onto your SD card, and it goes onto the back of your MagSafe on the back of the phone. Really useful little piece of kit. Something else that's really cool on the iPhone 17 Pro and Pro Max, in fact it's across the entire iPhone 17 lineup, is something that they call a square sensor. This effectively allows you to use the selfie camera in whatever orientation you want, and it's just going to shoot either or. So you don't have to have it this way or this way, just this way, and you can get your 16:9 shot or your 9:16 shot right for Instagram or TikTok or whatever. And while you might think it'll magically make you look pro, what really makes you look pro is your confidence on camera. And if you want to look and sound better on camera, it's not just about the delivery. You can check out my camera confidence program. There's a link in the description, and I'll see you on the next vid.